Good morning, everyone. I forgot my green juice. Sat down, pressed go live, realised I didn't have my green juice. Hopefully I don't get into a coughing fit and have to run for some water. Adele here from Your Healing Path and Dare to Be Authentic. Part 2 of Overthinking. And I've titled today's video as, what's the trick to make it stop? Are you intrigued? Have I got your attention yet? How do you make overthinking stop? It's so simple, people. It is so simple. Overthinking is a result of thoughts with no defined action. Simple as that. You keep thinking about something and you have no defined action. You don't have anywhere to move to from your space of overthinking because you haven't made a decision, or you haven't decided what action to take, or you haven't... I've got written down here that you haven't yet found a solution, and that's potentially it. But the key to it is that you haven't yet found some sort of action that you can take. Until you take action, the overthinking is going to keep going. And I did actually write down everyone's responses to how they overcome overthinking. And I loved it. Yeah, I did. All written up. And what I found, again, themes throughout it. There are the energetic ways to try and overcome overthinking. Meditation, Reiki, dropping in. I loved that, Lisa, actually dropping in. And with the idea that these actions will help you find an answer. Again, overthinking stops the minute you have a defined direction. The minute you decide to take some sort of action. That's what I think anyway. Some of the other things that came up, distraction, really, really big one. If you're trying to stop a spin cycle or an overthinking cycle, distracting yourself from it. And I want to say that is actually a really, really good strategy. A lot of people might say, oh, you can distract yourself from it. It's actually a really good strategy, because removing yourself from whatever it is that is causing this spin cycle and taking time out from it, look, quite often has the potential to sort of spring a different idea into your mind. So distraction, yeah, absolutely. As long as you go back, again, with decisive action of some sort. We then have the mind aspect of things. Things like, colouring in, music, visualisation, singing, the creative aspects of how to deal with overthinking. And again, awesome, because the idea behind all of these strategies, I guess, is take your mind off it so that you can potentially look at things a little bit differently. Potentially seek a different idea than one that's already been spinning around in your head. So the reason for overthinking could be you can't find a solution, or you have several solutions and you don't know which one is going to be the best one. Can't help you with that right now. But it's definitely an aspect of it. So how do you actually overcome overthinking with some sort of defined action? Again, referring to my notes, you get back to who you are. And this is what very much the body work, the energy work, the exercising, the getting out in nature, colouring in, music, visualizations. It's about bringing yourself back into who you are, bringing yourself back into the connection of mind, body, spirit. So when I do those things personally, I do that with the intention of seeking an answer. And generally I'll get it. Generally I'll get it. If you're doing those things as escapism, please don't. Of course, it's always your choice. Always your choice. I don't really believe in escaping from situations that you find yourself in. It really does just exacerbate the problem. And the much healthier way is to actually at least seek a way forward and take some steps in a direction so that you start that forward momentum and stop that stagnation cycle that overthinking can cause. That also stops the too much movement cycle, the spin cycle of, thoughts going round and round and round and round. If you take some sort of decisive action, if you take one step in a single direction, that's going to stop the overthinking on that aspect of it. Right? When I say define what you want and get back to who you are, I'm talking about it in very broad sense of, again, going back to your why and going back to thinking about what it is that you're trying to achieve. That's what you tap back into. And that's what should give you answers on how to move forward, how to break through the overthinking. Now, the issue obviously comes from if you actually don't know what you want. That's a whole different thing altogether, and that's something I think we're addressing in a few weeks' time anyway. But when you do tap in, when you do get back to who you are, what you're looking for is the heart-mind connection, okay? The heart wants one thing, the mind wants a different thing. Getting those two things to talk to each other, to come to some sort of resolution, is the ideal. It's the ideal. And you can do it. It's not actually that hard. Another really important thing about overcoming overthinking, and I've touched on it a few times, is focus on the outcome. Again, this is talking about your why, but not in such, sort of definitive terms. What's the outcome that you're expecting? What do you want? What are the results that you want? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to see happen? Focus on that. When you're going through these strategies that each of you have identified, whether it's the body and energy work, whether it's the getting out in nature, which actually to my mind incorporates mind, body, soul, whether it's just the mind, whether it's the distraction aspect of it, what are you actually aiming for? What is your desired outcome? When you're going through these techniques, think about that. Keep that front of mind, and you will have the answers that come through. So the key aspect is pretty much like get it out of your head. And when I say get it out of your head, it's basically disengage the brain from being the primary controller, which is really, really hard for most people. But that's what it takes, because it's the brain that's spinning. So to be able to an extent, disengage the brain, allow the heart to come into the equation, and further on from that, spirit, soul to come into the equation, then you're going to stop the spin cycle. Then you're going to start realizing what you want. Engage all aspects of who you are. Heart, mind, body, soul, everything. And step forward as you, the you that you want to be. Do that. Try that. Now, the logistics of actually overcoming overthinking from a very, really basic physical perspective, I love mind mapping and I love writing. And I'll explain to you why. So you all know I'm all about energy, and you have energy running through your body constantly, specifically when you're overthinking. That stuff just goes. To me, the way I see it, you literally have pen and paper, And I kind of gave you guys a flash of this yesterday. But you start writing things, just words, and basically you end up doing a mind map. Or if you're into journaling, then you just start free-form writing. As Kelly Ray mentioned, the automatic writing. The energy, stick with me on this one, guys. The energy that's going through your body will make its way out through your fingertips, whether it be a typing aspect or a pen aspect. So I actually use both methods. When I'm not entirely certain of the outcome, I'll use, pen and paper. Because it is much more freeform. It means I can sort of organise thoughts on a piece of paper in different areas. When I have an idea of what I'm needing to do, then I will go and sit at the computer and type. Either way, I strongly believe that those methods are the way to get thoughts out of your head, to get the energy of those thoughts out of your head and expressing themselves through your hands. So if you haven't done it already, I know there's quite a few writers in the group. I know that there are people that journal. That's something that you could try. Again, get it out of your head. The more you keep something in your head, the more it's going to spiral. If you don't realize the thoughts going on in your head in one way or another, they're never going to be satisfied. And they will continue spiraling. Now, it's up to you what you decide satisfaction is for those thoughts. For me, I actually think it's a golden rule. The overthinking, the spiraling, it stops when you take some sort of action. So give it a go. Take some sort of action. If you're experiencing overthinking, or if you're experiencing, a barrage of thoughts that you can't make sense of, try it. Try and make one simple decision. Try and take one simple step and see how that goes. I think that's it for me. Tomorrow is Thrash It Out Thursday, people. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Which is always the happiest day of the week in the group. I'm exhausted by Thursday night, though, because I've been bopping and dancing on my chair and bouncing around all day, listening to all the songs that everyone puts through. So any new members, please do contribute. Also, the 4-week intensive. If you are interested in doing that, let me know. If I don't have enough people, it won't go ahead, and that would be a real shame for the people who are interested in doing it. Again, I just want to say I do believe it will be an incredible experience for you. And I think that's it. Have a fabulous Wednesday. And I will see you all tomorrow for Thrash It Out Thursday. I'm excited. So much love to you all. Have a great day. Bye.